Hey, welcome to the stream. We just make sure things are working correctly. Welcome, DD O'Brien. I saw your message about that playing some music. Unfortunately, I can't use anything that I don't own the rights to. So for now, I'm just playing some royalty-free music. Let me know if it's too loud or it's distracting. I can turn it off. Let's see here. We've got about 100 people watching right now, which is, wow, that's a lot more than last time. So, sorry for the slightly odd lighting. I did get a better webcam, so hopefully the quality will be better. Unfortunately, so I'm doing it kind of in the bar area of my kitchen, and the bar lights, right before I went live, decided that all the bulbs would burn out at the same time. So I've kind of got a little lamp here. It's a little thing here, a little quick bit of lighting solution. So let's go ahead and get started. So today I'm going to try... Oh, right. One other question. Justin, the co-designer, is asking, how confident am I at beating the solo mode in hard difficulty? I haven't actually played a whole lot in hard mode. The normal is already pretty tough as is. So I'm going to give myself kind of a 50-50 chance here. So if you guys watched last time, the way it's set up for the machine... Actually, I'm going to turn off the music. So last time when I set up the machine, I gave the machine 3 cards in their tableau. And the only difference between normal and hard difficulty is the machine starting with 1 more card. That might seem insignificant, but what that means is they have 1 more point to start with, and their engine basically starts with 1 more piece to it. So I'm going to flip out 4 cards. So any monument cards we'll discard. So here's our 4 cards. I'll briefly go over what the solo rules are for those of you who haven't seen it yet or read the rules. Right now, the machine is starting with 4 cards in their tableau. Rather than actually running each individual factory, I'm grouping them by colors. So this is a purple. Sorry, the reflection is a bit tough to see, but it's a purple special card. So I group them up by color. And I've got 2 production factories, blue production factories, and 1 yellow utility factory here. So that represents their particular engine, and you'll see how that works once I get to the machine's turn. So I've already dealt out my 4 cards, and the marketplace is already set up. So with the solo mode, we're going to start with the market phase. Actually, that's the case for the multiplayer as well. During the multiplayer game, every player is going to take a turn at the market phase. Solo, I'm the only one at the market. So let's see what I've got here. So my starting hand, I've got 3 training cards, which lets me manipulate dice rolls, and the incinerator, which helps me get energy. Taking a look at the marketplace here, we've got Golem, which allows me to make dice out of energy, and I've got Concrete Plant, which lets me score points based from metal and low pairs of dice. That's challenging. I think Golem is extremely powerful, especially early on, so I'm going to go ahead and pick up Golem. So it is a bit of a gamble, because note that in order to build Golem, I have to have 4 metal and a blue mallet. And currently, I have neither. But I have faith that I'll be able to draw into a blue mallet. Otherwise, I could potentially build it the following turn. So I start with 1 metal, 2 energy, and 4 dice. Now that I picked the card, I'll go ahead and do that. Refill the marketplace. Now that I've picked a card in the marketplace, go on to the work phase. Let's see here. Mark Ginger saying, who's taking bets? Well, we'll see. Hopefully I can pull out a win. All right, this is a pretty good roll. So let's now just during the work phase, we can focus on just what's in our tableau. So we talked about building that golem. The 3 5s are going to help me get that metal that I need in order to build the golem. The challenging thing is getting that blue mallet. So I'm going to go ahead and research and see if we can draw into a blue mallet. Did not. So that's unfortunate. Question is how hard do I want to go on this blue mallet? I think drawing cards is really valuable in the very beginning. Gives you a lot more options and access to other contractors as well. So I'm going to continue drawing cards. Place another 5 here in the research and draw another card. Oh, there we go. That blue mallet, perfect. So I'm going to get the metal I need by placing 5s into mine. So mine requires 4, 5, or 6. I'm going to put 2 5s here, which will give me 2 metal, plus the bonus extra one. So now I have the 4 metal in order to build golem. I discard Cryolab, which has the blue mallet as well, and then pay the 4 metal. Now that I've built the golem, I can actually use it the same turn. So I've got a couple options here. I can spend 1 energy and make a 1, and I could research and draw a card. But I think I'm going to go and spend 2 energy and make this a 2. Now, a 2 by itself doesn't normally draw me extra cards because it doesn't matter what the value is. But in this case, I'm creating a match. So now since those 2 match, I actually get to draw 2 cards. It's cost me 1 extra energy, but drawing an extra card, I think is worth it. Okay, so I've got apparently a lot of shovels. Sorry, Mark. Hopefully you can hear the audio. It sounds like everyone else is seeing the video correctly, so try as Mark was suggesting in maybe a different browser. All right, so now I'm taking my turn. It's time for the machine's turn. Sorry, a bit of glare. Let me try to reposition the lamps here. Okay, so right, that should be good. So I'm going to roll the dice. The first die to look at is the green die. So the green die represents the machine's choice. In this case, the machine is picking the 4th card in the marketplace row to build. So they're building the 4th card here, which is the concrete plant. So that's not good because they're building quite the engine for the blue cards. And now you assign the purple die to the purple cards, the blue die to the blue, yellow to yellow, and there's no red cards yet. So in order for the machine to manufacture goods, their roll has to be equal or less than the number of cards. So the more cards they have, the easier it is for them to score because they're allowed to roll higher and still score. Roll out, there's only 1, and they roll a 3, so they don't get to manufacture any goods here. They roll a 2, which is less than or equal to 3, so they do score a point here. And given that they've got 3 here, they can continue doing that 50-50 every turn, which is pretty intimidating. All right, so that's the only one they score, though. Refill the marketplace, and we're on to the second round. All right, so back to the marketplace. So I have no energy, which makes it so I can't hire any hands here. I am low on resources and got a lot of cards. In particular, I've got a lot of shovels, which would allow me to hire the foreman, but the foreman also costs 2 energy, which means that's not an option for me. I can't even hire an investor either because I don't actually have a blue mallet. So I guess we're stuck with dealing with the bottom row here. The 2 cards I see that are really good are Manufactory and Motherlode. Motherlode lets you get metal more efficiently. Manufactory is an early game card that lets you put down a pair and get some manufactured good and some resources. And those resources, a lot of flexibility here. So it's pretty good for an early game start. I do have a wrench that would allow me to build it. So let's go ahead. Oh, actually, this might be a more enticing one right here, concrete plant. So it's time to get serious here. I need to try to do my best to beat the machine on hard mode. Concrete plant lets you manufacture 2 goods, but the challenge here is getting low pairs, because the higher the pair, the more metal I have to pay. So I think I'm going to go for this. And Golem is great because Golem can make low numbers really easily. So what I really need is a good source of metal. I've got 2 options here. We've got Refinery and Motherlode. I think Motherlode is more consistent, so I'm going to pick up Motherlode. So back to rolling. Oops. All right. Kind of messed up the camera here. Ah. All right. Here we go. Ooh. That's tough. I didn't roll any low numbers for energy. But here's where these training facilities can help out. See, I have this fitness center. I'll show you guys a little trick here. So if I build this, I can decrease the value of my die. So I'm going to go ahead and build this by discarding another fitness center. I can't build a second one anyway, so I might as well discard this one in order to build the other one. Oh, sorry. First things first. I do need metal in order to build it. So I'm going to put one here, get some metal. Now I build it. Okay, the 1 metal. Oh, that's right. I don't have any energy. If I had 1 energy, I could change this 4 into a 3. So this turn looks like I'm just going to draw some more cards and just stock up on tons of metal. So this will give me another 4 metal. And draw a card. Initial glance, it doesn't look like I got a whole lot done, but I am stockpiling resources and a big hand of cards, which will be helpful in the future. All right, back to the machine. Once again, we got to look at the green die. Building the first card here, Manufactory. So their blue engine is getting really strong here, but they luckily rolled really high. And in all right, back to. So I had already grabbed one. So to answer you guys' questions about the matching bonus, I had already put 1 down here to get the 1 metal, and I built the fitness center, and I put 2 more here. So if you look at the matching bonus, I would get 2 extra, and since I have 3 dice here, that would give me a total of 5 metal. Since I went ahead and spent 1 already, so I should have 5 metal. I spent 1, so now I have 4 metal. Hopefully that makes sense. It's a good question, though. Not quite. So the matching bonus, it is 1 for the first, 2 for the second. It's actually only 2 for the third, because matching 2 will give you 1 extra. Matching 3 will give you 2 extra. So once I've already placed 2 here, I've gotten 3, which means I've already gotten 1 extra. So doing a third one will only give me 1 more extra. So a total of 2 extra. Okay, back to the marketplace. Let's see here. I didn't draw a mallet. That contractor roll here is really killing me. I'm going to spend some metal. I'm going to wipe it out. Maybe I can get an electrician that will help me boost up my energy. Ooh, high roller. That's one way to beat the AI. there is an electrician. I've got plenty of shovels. I want to do the high roller, but I don't have a wrench. Maybe I can get one next turn. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this gymnasium to hire the electrician. The electrician gives me 5 energy and 2 to an opponent. But since the AI has no use for resources, I just get to get 5 energy. So that solves my energy problem. At least for this turn. I'll roll a dice. Oh, now I get some low rolls. But low rolls are good for the concrete plant I want to make. So if I want to make this concrete plant here, I'm going to discard a shovel. And pay 2 metal and 2 energy. And now I've got 2 2s, which are great for concrete plant. If it costs 2 metal, I only got 1. So a few things I can do. I think I'm going to be able to get a lot of energy. I'm going to go ahead and grab that energy. 3 energy. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to spend 1 on the golem here. Get a 1. Spend 1 on the fitness in here. Change this into 1. Now I've got a pair of 1s. I can use this pair of 1s to run concrete plant, only paying 1 metal and manufacturing 2 goods. So that's nice. So what's my next plan? I need some more ways to score points. Looking at the marketplace, there aren't any really strong contenders for blueprints or production factories. Aluminum factory maybe, but also requires a pair. It's quite hard to roll 2 pairs, so I'm not sure if that's the way I want to go. I probably want to find a card that uses only a single specific die or doesn't use any workers at all. So I think I want to draw some more cards. I think getting energy will help me get some good contractors potentially, and then I'll use this one to draw a card. Mother load. Well, now we've got 2 mother loads here. I could build it. I don't have any metal, but we can wait until next turn. So I've scored my first 2 goods here. I think we're doing all right against the hard computer here, the machine. Let's roll and see how their turn turns out. So, they rolled pretty low here. At 2. So they're building that yellow card there. Luckily, they rolled a 6, 1, and 1. So they're manufacturing 2 goods here. Back to the market phase for me. Oh, speaking of cards that will work well, the Biolab. So this is what I was talking about, like getting a card that only uses 1 die. But what's challenging here is it needs a 1. And if possible, I'd like to save my 1s for concrete plant. I want the low values for concrete plant. So I'm not quite sure if I want to go in on that. I think for now what I'm going to do is actually do the hard hands. It requires a shovel. So discard a shovel. It also requires 3 energy. And I set up for this by making sure I had enough energy. And rolling 2 extra dice really opens up your options. So I'll roll a couple extra dice. Chances of rolling a low pair are much higher when you're rolling 6 dice. So one of these were from the golem, so I'll roll these 6 dice. Oh, there you go. See, I've got a pair of 1s. That's pretty good. So I need some metal. We're having a metal shortage. I wanted to build that mother load. But the tricky thing is, do I want to build... I can only get 1 metal. It's a tough choice. What am I going to do with... So let's say I dedicate these 2. It's hard to pass up an opportunity to get 2 points for just 1 metal. Got a lot of things here to get, a lot of energy. That means I could use the golem potentially to get some metal. So let's It's quite expensive, but let's go for it. So I'm gonna put one here, get one metal. I'm gonna build a mother load. So it costs me 1 metal, 3 energy. And let's put it over here. Discard this shovel. That's all my resources. Oh, let me clean this up. But I can get 7 NG back here. So 3 for each, and then the matching. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We use 1, 2, 3, 4 energy on the golem to make a 4. And I use this 4 here to get 2 metal. So we have a little bit of metal going on now. Plug this in here, pay the 1 metal, get 2 goods. And I still don't have a second source of goods, so I'm going to continue drawing to try to get some cards that will dictate my strategy here. Cryolab, that's not helpful. This lets me roll extra dice, but it takes a turn to set it up. I think for now, since I have Golem, I don't necessarily need a way to make more dice. I just need a way to make more points. Oops, I accidentally drew 2 cards. I need to put this one back. All right, time for the machine. All right, so rolled a 5. So what a 5 means is the machine will build a card off the top of the deck. Oh, another blue card. That also means with a 5, you're going to wipe out this whole row. So if I had planned on picking up that Biolab maybe, which is a very tempting choice this turn, well, it's too bad. They wiped it away. Oh, Beacon. If they had rolled a 6, they would then wipe away the contractors. So sometimes if you wait a little too long for something to come up or to play a particular card in the marketplace, it might be disrupted by the machine depending on what they roll. Beacon is very tempting because the more beacons you build, the more points they're worth. And in a normal game, humans will see, like human players will see that you're going for beacons. It's a little bit of a set collection. They might actively stop you from getting beacons. With the machine, they have less agency in terms of specifically targeting those beacons. But also in a one-player game, it's a lot harder to get through the deck to find all the beacons. There's only 4 of them in the entire deck, so it's a bit of a gamble. Trying to decide whether I want to go the beacon. I feel like I've already gone down a path where I'm not building heavily, I'm manufacturing more. Here's something interesting. Battery Factory. So Battery Factory is great because it doesn't require any dice. It just needs energy. But let me look at the contractors. This is where I'm going to be a little selfish here. I don't need this Cryolab. So I'm going to discard it to hide it. Architect, which lets me draw 3 cards off the top of the deck. I'm just going to gamble and hope the battery, I either stumble upon something better or the Battery Factory will stick around next turn. So that wasn't particularly great of a draw, but we'll deal with it. So back to the work phase. Sorry, the concrete plant is all lit up, but hopefully you guys remember that's a concrete plant. And the important text is what's showing anyways. Ooh, wow, what a great roll race. On surface level, I can continue running my concrete plant. Here's a metal. Metal load, keep this train running. Now, let's see if I have any way of scoring points. So Replicator is a really cool card. And this is one of the, once I build it, I can use energy to copy another card in the marketplace. So there's 4 cards in the marketplace. And every turn I'd have to copy a card. Oh, crap. You're right. Sorry. Very good point, Cat. I forgot to finish their turn. So busy talking about how the machine disrupts the marketplace here. Good catch. So they do score a point here. These tokens happen to be double-sided, but the final game won't have them. Will be double-sided. So they got lucky here, I think. They only scored 1 point. So let me catch up on questions here. What is the high roller? So let me show the high roller. High roller is actually one of the promo card for the Kickstarter. So normal retail copies of the game won't include this card, and it's a really fun card. It's basically a push your luck. It says roll a die. If it's a 1, lose all that you gained with high roller. If it's any other value, gain 1 metal and 1 energy, and you may repeat high roller again. So every time you roll, as long as you don't roll a 1, you get resources, and you can continue to roll until you decide to stop. But it's potentially very powerful. But if you're like me, usually the first thing you roll is a 1. So it's kind of a high risk, high reward card. University just doesn't have the art done quite yet. All right, so sorry, back to my work phase here. So Motherload got the 2 metal, ran the concrete plant, got the 1 here. I was talking about the replicator can copy cards in the marketplace, which gives me a lot of options, but it's a bit volatile because it depends on what's in the marketplace at the time. I feel like I want something more reliable. My options also aren't terribly great. I'm going to put a 1 here, research. Robot. Well, robot's not bad, given that I have a good way of making metal. I'm going to spend some energy on the golem here. Make another one. What's cool about the golem is it's very versatile. It can help me run the concrete plant. It can also help me draw cards. In this case, I'm going to put the 1 here, and I actually get to draw 2 more cards because of the matching bonus. Oh, so that's interesting. Laboratory. Draw a card when gaining a good. So that could be good if I could find some way of turning cards into points, like a trash compactor or a recycling plant, which I haven't come across quite yet. Well, there was a trash compactor earlier, but it got shuffled away. Obelisks just build for points. I do have a good way to gain metal. Obelisks tend to cost a lot of metal, so this might be a good card to hold on towards the late game. So that concludes my turn. Back to the... Actually, you know what? You know what we're going to do? I'm going to build this robot. Before I end the turn, build the robot. Discard Temp Agency. Cost me 1 metal, 1 energy. And I'm going to run that robot too, this turn. And I guess what I'm hoping for is a 1. And then I could potentially research more cards. Or 3. Oh, look at that. It's a 1. So now I get to draw 2 more cards. Robot's paying for itself. Another golem, another obelisk. Obelisk is one of the few cards that allows you to build more than 1. So holding on to both obelisks might be a good idea. All right, back to the machine. So we got 2 with a university. So the machine now has something in the red category, and they rolled a 1, which is unfortunate. But missed that. There's 5 blue, so they get a score point here, 3 here. So 1 point for the blue column, 1 point for the new red column. Let's do a quick status check here. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 points. And I've got 1, 2, 3, plus 6, so 9. It's not looking good so far. 15 to 9, but the AI usually starts off with an advantage because each one of the cards that they start with counts as a point. So yeah, to answer your question, Xavier, the beacon is the only other card in the game where you can have multiple copies. So the beacon and the obelisk, those are both monuments. Oh, see you later, Didi. All right, back to the market phase here. Ooh. So when we're talking about that battery factory, very tempting. I don't have a good source of energy. Power plant is a good source of energy. At this point, if I am able to run Conky Plant, each turn it's going to take another 3 turns to trigger the end of the game. I do want to expedite that a little bit. I think I will get battery factory. Oh, sorry, I'm not pointing at the marketplace. But I ended up grabbing the battery factory, which was the card I wanted potentially last turn. Roll the dice. All right, so I don't have a pair, but I have a 1, and I have Golem in order to make a pair. So let's go ahead and do that. I don't need that metal. Put that here. Get them 2 metal. Now, if I remember correctly, I wanted to build a battery factory. I also wanted to work towards being able to build these obelisks. Ooh, there is a miner in the marketplace, which I could use as a source of metal. And the miner requires discarding a blue mallet. So I'll save a blue mallet for that. Unfortunately, it competes with the obelisk. Obelisks also need blue mallets. So that's challenging. I'm getting a lot of cards. It would be great if we could find a card that would change these cards into points. So let's go ahead and do this. Pay the 1. Make 2 more points. I want to build this battery factory. So I'm going to discard this wrench. Oh, actually, sorry. It also requires 2 metal, so I'm going to get another metal here. And 2 here to get 2 energy. So it costs me 2 metal and 1 energy. It leaves me with no metal to run the robot, unfortunately. Okay. That was an okay turn. Onto the machine. So I got a 4, which builds the foundry for the 4th spot of the marketplace. So purple does not produce. That's good. Blue does, because there's 5 cards here. Red, yellow. No points here. Okay. Not too bad. Back to the marketplace. So I was talking about hitting up the miner to relieve all of my woes. But here's the thing. We're talking about finding a card that will help me, a factory that will help me get rid of cards for points. So I'm going to wipe out the bottom row just to see if the recycling plant will show up. Ooh, black market is a good way to get rid of cards for points. So no recycling plant. Let's talk about the black market real quick. So black market is a card that lets you, discard a card with a worker, and you get resources equal to the build cost of that card. So like if I discarded Golem to black market, I would get 4 metal. But black market also costs 3 metal and 2 energy to build. I think it might be a little too late to get another resource generating card. I need to score points. So I'm going to stick with the original plan. I'm going to discard a Golem in order to hire the miner, which gets me 3 metal. So notice that even though I wiped the blueprint row, I'm still allowed to pick one of the 8 cards. So get the 3 metal. Hey Matt, how's it going? Matt, you've played the solo game a few times. Have you ever beaten the hard mode machine? to rolling. Wow, rolling like a boss. 2 1s again. Let's keep running this thing. It's funny because I spent all this time building Innocent and Golem to try to get the pairs of 1s be consistent. I just happen to be rolling them every time. Let's roll the robot. Look at that. 3s. That's great for Battery Factory because I need that energy to feed it. Let's put the 3s here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 energy. So 7 energy. I could discard some to run the Battery Factory. Maybe I will. I think I will. So discard 4 here. Manufacture me 1 good. So I made 3 points here. And I want to work my way towards building this obelisk. So I've got 2 metal here. Obelisk requires 3 metal and 1 energy. I could build it now, but I only have 1 other mallet, and it's the other obelisk. I want to hopefully build both, so I'm going to hold off and potentially build it later. Let's check the end condition here. I've actually got 10, 11 goods. Holy crap. I could, unfortunately, I can't trigger the end of the game. But earlier you can end the game against the machine usually better because they pick up just as much momentum as you. Let's do a little, let's run the machine and then let's do a little check to see how we're doing against them. Four. Builds out another university. Notice the, since we only care about the color, the can only build 1 of each name. Rule doesn't apply to the machine. Match the colors up. Got lucky here. Roll a 6, but there's only 5 blue cards. 4, 2, 6. So this one scores a point. So they only scored 1 point. That's pretty good. Got lucky with the roll there. Let's check the score here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 plus 4 is 11. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. 19 points. Where are we at? Got 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 15. Plus the obelisk I could have built, 17. So I'm still a little behind. So we didn't find that recycling plant. Some way to get rid of the cards that we need. Let's see here, we had some questions here. Oh, yeah. You're right, I missed the play there. Xavier is saying you can use the golem to make more energy. Normally, no. But if you remember last turn, I did actually have 3 energy. Actually, I'm not sure why I didn't use the golem. Maybe I had too many cards. Usually I think of golem as drawing cards. But you're right. If I spent the 3 energy here to make another 3, I would get 3 energy back, but then actually 1 extra bonus energy. Let's see here. Yeah. So Xavier, you're already a pro at this. And actually, well, spoiler alert, today's puzzle might use a trick like that as well. Oh, right. So back to the market phase. So I've got these obelisks. I need mallets. So I should either pick up mallets or try to get rid of these cards, either a shovel or a gear. If you look at shovel and gear, they're both specialists. Let's pick up let's pick up it's getting really close. I want to make sure that I get the mallet. Otherwise I might end up drawing a lot of cards to try to get the mallet and get a lot of extra cards I don't need. Oh, thanks, Xavier. What's great about this game, even though it is a bit of a solitaire game in the sense that you don't interact heavily outside of the marketplace with other players, everyone's actually doing this work phase at the same time. So there's actually very little downtime while everyone's trying to figure out their little puzzle of how to place all their workers. All right, so finally did not roll very low, but I'm going to try the robot, and I rolled 3. So I could spend 3 metal to run the concrete plant. I feel like I might have to. Quite expensive though. Let me see what my other choices are. Interesting. So I do. Luckily, the excess cards I do have matching symbols. I have a lot of 3s. What I'm going to do, I think I'm going to build the replicator. 2 metal, 2 energy. I'll discard the aluminum factory. Oh, maybe I should build an aluminum factory. It's a tough one. Aluminum factory needs a pair and a bunch of energy, and it will make me metal as well, which is what I desperately need for both concrete plant and those obelisks. I think I'll stick with the replicator though. 2 metal, 2 energy. Oops. Dropping cards. Sorry. I'm going to go nuts. I'm going to place all 3 of these dice into generate. They'll give me 9 plus 2, so 11 energy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So I'm going to spend 4 here on the battery factory. And since there's another battery factory in the marketplace, I'm actually going to use the replicator to copy it. So I spend the 1 energy here on the replicator, and then I copy the battery factory and spend 4 more energy. 2, 3, 4. Score a point here. Now I've got these 2 6s here. I don't know what to do. Well, I do need more metal, so I think I'm going to do exactly that. Get 3 metal here. Note that I do have the mother load, which will get me 2 metal for 1 die, but since I have the matching bonus, it's the same effect either way. Wanted to make sure I wasn't missing an opportunity to do that trick with the golem, but my generate's all filled up. What I could do is spend 1 energy to draw another card. I think I'm not going to risk it because I need all that energy to run the golem, and I don't need any more cards at this point. So I'm going to clean this all up. Go on to the machine. So Jonathan, we Justin is giving me crap for not using concrete plant. We can run the numbers here. I built the replicator and I ran the replicator as a battery factory and ran the battery factory. So that's 3 points. If I ran the concrete plant and the battery factory, that's also 3 points. But I figured the replicator will give me some flexibility in the future. So that's why I chose to build a replicator rather than trying to spend all that metal on running the concrete plant. Plus, in the end, I also save on 1 metal, which will hopefully help me build the obelisk. Note that I do have more than 12 goods. That triggers the end of the game. That means the next round will be the final round. And as I mentioned, the golem use wouldn't have... Oh, you know what? Actually, that's a good point. I will use the golem because I'm going to use the one energy on the golem. Spend the 1, and I can run mother load and get metal. So I'm basically exchanging 1 metal for 1 energy. So I think that's a good use. Yeah. You're right. Justin's right. I could have copied Dojo instead of Battery Factory and made a one with the golem. So then I could have used the one here and copied a dojo and flip one of these 6s into a 1, and then I could run the Conquer Plant for super cheap. Unfortunately, I did not do that. Rather than rolling back, I think we'll just continue on. So you can only use each card once. So Golem you can only use once. I chose to use it for Mother Load. And Justin was saying I could use it for Conquer Plant and use a dojo to flip the 6 into another one. I could build an obelisk now, but I could also build it next turn. So I like to hold as many cards and resources as possible in order to give me the most options. Like potentially I could pitch one of these obelisks to hire the miner. Let's play out the machine's turn. I'll show you what kind of decisions I have in the final round. So it's a 5 here. That's perfect because I was going to wipe the marketplace anyways. So first thing, we'll build the top card, blueprint. Or sorry, blue card, which basically means I guaranteed the score every turn now on the blues. Wipe out the marketplace. I'm hoping that a mallet will come out. You can't see it, but there is no mallet, so that sucks. Let's see where things lie. So 4 and 1, no points. 4 to 6, 1.3 to 3, that's the point. 6 to 2, no point. So that was a decent turn from the machine. And let's take a look here. Let's see. Oh yeah, so there are some people who will be working on a French translation, but it'll just be for the rule book, unfortunately. We hadn't planned on doing translations for the cards themselves, and at this point, it would delay the manufacturing of the game if we were to do that. But potentially, there's a possibility we may be licensing the game to a French publisher, but that's pretty far down the road. We don't know the details on that quite yet. Let's see here. So I only got one of those obelisks taken care of because I don't have another blue mallet. Also might be challenging to get enough metal to both run the Conquer Plant and build 2 obelisks. So at this point, it might be a good opportunity to actually, it's tough to say. And another thing to consider is that I do have a replicator, so it matters very much what's in the marketplace. So right now, the only point scoring card is the nuclear plant. I could copy it. This can also help me get the metal I need, but I still don't have the mallet I need. I'm very tempted now to spend one of my precious energy to wipe out the bottom row and see if I can get some better options. I think I might go ahead and do that. Do I want to do that? It's tough. I'm going to do it. Spend 1 energy. Ooh, trash compactor. Megalith. Warehouse has that mallet I need. But like I said, I don't think I'm going to be able to get enough metal. I think, it's tough. I think I'm going to sell this robot to hire a miner to get me 3 metal. So I'm going to have plenty of metal heading into the last turn here. Hey, Jonathan, if you want to help with the translations, shoot me an email at translation@fantasticfactories.com. Right, so 4 dice. Let's make this happen. All right, so we've got a 1, so that's great. That's 11. Okay, let's robot. Start by roboting. What a tough turn here. So I've got more metal than I need, or do I? So to build everything here in my hand, I would need 2 metal and 3 metal, so 5 metal. So let's say we need, say, for this 5 metal. I also want to run the concrete plant, so save that 1 metal. Problem is I really want to run this warehouse using the replicator. But unfortunately, I didn't roll high enough. I could trash compactor. That might be the way to go. Oh, but I need some energy. How do I end up in this situation? And I didn't roll any 4s I could then change into 3s. And I need energy to build an obelisk. I might have to dedicate these dice to making energy. 11 plus 2 is 13. It's not helpful at all. It's not a great last roll. So let's use these. There is a black market to use. That's not helpful either. The 2 here, 2 metal. 4 metal left. There's a challenge where, once again, I don't have the energy I need to make things happen. Okay, let's go ahead and start doing this. I'm going to spend 1 energy on the goal to make 1s. Pay 1 here. Put that down. Two here, get 2 energy. 1, 2. Build this obelisk by discarding another obelisk. So 3 metal and 1 energy. I could build this foundry. I think there's a better thing I can do here. I'm going to spend this 2 here and get 3 energy. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to spend 1 on this fitness center to change this 6 into a 5. Spend 1 on this replicator to copy this trash compactor that's up there. And I'm going to run this trash compactor, discard these 2 cards. Score 2 more points here. So it uses all my dice, all my cards, so that's a pretty reasonable turn. Let's take a look at his score before we head on to the machine's turn. Do I even have a chance of winning? So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 16, 17 points. 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. 24 points. Let's see what the machine's got. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. 22. It's not looking good. So the way the rulebook reads is if I don't beat their score, I lose. So that means they're actually, I think that means I've lost because they will build one card. That's one more point. And there's the blueprint, the blues here will also score one more point because they're maxed out at 6. So that would be at minimum 24 points, which would equal my score. But let's play it out. Let's just see how badly I got beat. So oh, geez, it's rubbing it in. So they build the megalith here, which is worth. You can't see it because of the reflection, but they build. That would be 2 points. Another point here. No points here. No points here. Another point here. So they end up scoring 4 points on the last turn. They only need 2 to beat me. So the end score, I believe, 26 to 24. Machine wins. There were a couple rough turns where the rolls didn't quite come out the way I wanted. And I did spend some time building this combination here and ended up not using the fitness center much at all. I think where things got a little lost was that I built the concrete plant quite early on, but I wasn't able to find that extra source of resources, extra source of goods until much later. You see, the battery factory was only able to use it twice. Didn't have a good source of energy either. Maybe I should have gone for that biolab. It's hard to say. So that's the game in hard mode. Usually in normal, I am able to beat the AI pretty consistently. So like in normal mode, the machine would have had one fewer card to start, which would mean that it would be at least 25 to 24, and they may have not have scored as many points with their engine as well. All right, so that's the game. Any questions? If not, I have you guys another puzzle. You guys got one in the update just an hour and a half ago or so. And also, Justin, you're the one to be talking. You're the one who's supposed to help me make these puzzles. Let me show you guys something cool here. So I've got a little box here of the old stuff. So like in the update, if you've seen it, a little bit of a sneak peek of what the old cards look like. I want to show you guys a bit more here on the live stream. As a thanks for joining. Let me see if I can pull it out. Oh, this is not quite what I was looking for, but this is the very first deck. Back when we didn't quite know what the theme was and everything's a little all over the place. And you see that as we were prototyping, we're just literally just scribbling things out and saying, oh, we need to balance this, adjust this. This one's called Printing Press. I guess it was 1 die, 3 cards, 2 VP. And the icon for metal at the time was this upside down triangle, which we didn't really have a name for that resource at all. Matt's asking if we'll do a puzzle that includes a marketplace and cards in hand. We might do some with cards in hand, but it gets to the point where it's kind of hard to display all that information into a single graphic. So we'll try some things out. We'll probably have some time to make the puzzles harder and harder as we go along. Here's another one, crazy one. It's a 1 and a 6. Laboratory. Oh, laboratory got a name renamed. So here's another card that maybe we'll see in an expansion. Capacity enhancer. you just attach it to another card and it just doubles the effect. Or you can use the card twice, basically. Surplus. Oh, this is basically what warehouse turned into, or used to be. Efficiency was solar array, and so you can see kind of how like ghetto the cards were. And then here we go. Here's what I was looking for. You can see how the card here, pivot, used to be called inverter. And now it's called dojo, if I can find dojo. I know there's a dojo somewhere here. I don't know where it went. Oh, well, pivot, the one that flips dice over. Oh, you can see concrete plant here. Concrete plant is what it used to look like. Actually, it didn't used to require a pair. It's just like you put in one die and that much metal. And it was too powerful. And this is kind of the next iteration in here. Then we did a little graphic design overhaul, and now it looks like this. So you're saying host some tabletop simulator games. What time of day would be best for you, Martin? The thing is, I currently have a lot of time during the middle of the day, but not so much time in the evenings when I think most people would be interested. Also, Martin, thanks for, I know you sent some suggested changes on the rulebook. I still plan on taking a look and making a lot of those changes that you suggested. I just haven't had the time quite yet. All right, well, maybe I will try setting up a tabletop simulator game one of these days. I have to figure out exactly how to organize it and figure out who's playing and who's because there'll only be 5 slots, I guess, and what time of day works for people. So anyways, if there's no more other questions, we could wrap it up. What is this selfies tab? Oh, someone took a selfie. But yeah, we used to do a lot of development on Tabletop Simulator, a lot of testing. All right, well, thanks everyone for tuning in. And maybe we'll catch you on the next stream.